take care of someone. Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. I'm at 7 Aurora Avenue North, state of Washington, 91383. I apologize about the noise in the background. I'm making toast, but I wanted to tell you about the plots here, and some of those included slavery, of course, building. There were threats about Harborview and Bobby West Precinct. I believe they seem to be those people. They wouldn't show any ID, and people from the security guards from the Pipe Market were here. Dr. Jeffy and Officer Bobby have two retarded sons, which sort of fits the profile of the average gang member, molesting their own children even, probably. So anyway, there are a lot of threats, including illegal surgery, Riverview Hospital, slavery, some other threats, including robbery, over and over, and the gang members think that they're going to force people into things, like I was saying, well, if you don't do this, you're going to get battery acid. Now, if you reconstruct the crime, you figure, well, whose apartment is open? Window is open on left that's threatening. So you can reconstruct some of the criminal threats. Whose windows are open this morning? Some of the bums are downstairs. What is breakfast? 6:30 or 7:30? I can't remember, because I don't eat breakfast with this. Threats were probably coming from this hallway to some apartments. These apartments you actually access via another hall, but it's looking out on their windows. This just looks out on the hall. And threats walking by the door, and then that's where a lot of the bums will hang out. It's around the bathroom, stretches around to the back of the sink. Note that they sort of leave the broadcast. That way I could, I'm going to spill water. Okay, now I'm sitting on it while I check my toast and just leave things on. By the way, these retarded bums have been in the NATO countries again, including Ireland and England. It's typical. And so it's allegedly Dr. Jeffy and Officer Bobby of the West Precinct in Seattle that were here over the weekend, and I think they're both 20s. And they're tall. At least one of them's tall. Dr. Jaffe's son is the tall one, I believe. It gets very confusing, because then, even though the dirty cop psychiatrists, they will skulk around, then there are people here that will call themselves Dr. Jaffe's son and sit, or Bobby's son, or son of a policeman, and they'll sit in the shower or behind the shower, masturbating into the water, also making threats and clicking guts. Typical. But I do believe that Dr. Jaffe's son is here sometimes. He's listed as Chris on paperwork, according to what I hear. And I believe that Officer Bobby's son is retarded and dangerous too. I don't know if he's listed. He might not be listed yet. So there's, and they were bragging again. The gang members were bragging about advertising me and putting out posters, including in other countries, to defame me, but also so that people would pick me up and rape me, and they're pretending I'm advertising for a relationship. If I find the posters, then I can contact the FBI. Well, I'll just rip them like if they're on a telephone pole or wherever. I'll just take them down. It's not legal to put stuff on telephone poles anyway. So it's typical of the gang members when they want to get when they want someone harmed. They don't like the words "getting even." It's implying something that's not there. So when they want to harm someone, they often will use actual advertisements. They'll try to make it appear legal. They also make it appear as though the person themselves has advertised, including it could be, now there's no longer any Yahoo that. They have done Facebook without people's consent or an alternate page, and these people have done that. They'll also threaten you for your real Facebook because they want to steal as much from you as they can, and then it makes it appear that you were the one. So the more they can implicate the more they can actually pretend or portray you did. Like often these bums will say, "You're on video, do this." What is it? It was innocent, but they'll try to make you look guilty. They do use illegal surveillance. And one of the whores is threatening. She's actually here and she's playing silent. See, that's one thing the gang members are never going to get, including Dr. Officer Bobby of the West Precinct. See, after they made me, my face covered in scratches, and they were trying to taunt me about it today. I have to laugh at the taunts, though, because we're talking about retarded, smelly people. Have is people here that are supposed to be professionals or semi-professionals, like Dr. Jaffe, Officer Bobby, and they're retarded too, by the way, but they hang out, they love, like one of them was getting fellatio from one of the crack whores right in the wall as he was threatening. That was probably Dr. Jaffe. And a whore's playing crawlers. That's a popular thing to use gang slang, or not slang, but like a code, and a whore's playing crawlers. Pretty similar. And I'd like to state that Officer Bobby was acting illegally with a bunch of prostitutes, and so was Officer Bobby. And they also had some retarded, coked out, crackhead, not that they're not here, they are. They were with the security guards from the LaSalle Apartments, Pipeline Market Development Authority, and they were here. One of them now in that wall area, she's threatening me, or he, for the glasses. If you can't hear, what to do is say, I think I'll enhance it on the stereo. Get rid of my voice and then separate that out, and then you'll hear the threats of the psychotic bums. And these bums are into crime in a big way. They are Satanists. They're also in on sacrifice. They're also involved with what I call the survival of the shittiest or unfittest. So they, in a gang, they're very inferior stock, and then of course they're not helping themselves with all the drugs and alcohol. And so, you've got these very inferior people, basically. Very inferior people, including Dr. Jaffe. And what also happened, if you believe it or not, these bums fell with Satan 13 years ago. There's basically nothing left of them. And the crack whore and the bum in the wall like that, there's nothing left anyway. The thing is yapping along. It's just a pile of dirt. There is no way I'd ever feel sorry for another whore that gets, killed by a Gary Ridgway. I'm sorry I wasted all those years feeling sorry for hookers. I wasted years feeling sorry for those people. And then you experience threats by these bums and being terrorized by these bums, and you realize they're not people. And they aren't people anyway. I will never have sympathy for another whore again. Sorry, there's my toast. So this thing yapping in the wall, and she's playing Mighty Gal. And see, this is especially why you wouldn't have sympathy for people. The whore's talking about blood. And she's playing industry. So you have victims that they're in on body dissociation, so is Officer Bobby, and so is Dr. Jaffe. And they're also in on blood sacrifices, drink people's plasma or their like their spinal fluid, and they talk about it all the time. They'll talk about refreshment and liquids. Often with the gang code, you have a lot of people talking about all the time, or sustenance, or nourishment, and it's almost in a lascivious manner. It's not actually, or vitamins, they're actually talking about blood. And whether you believe it or not, they commit and one of the things they do, either invisibly or they will commit cannibalism, because many of them have crossed the other cannibalism. They like to, especially that are tortured, and they think it gives them power over the victim. And it's part of the satanic ceremony. They are actually getting energies as well, they believe. So even if you don't listen to the paranormal part, that's their belief system. Like one black Nazi here that hangs out in the shower, behind the shower, you can smell him. It smells like a garbage dump. He actually was boasting that he had human fingers he was carrying around. And from what I heard, he nibbled and sucked on them, including while they were rotting away, to allegedly make them subordinate, even after death. So that's what the body desecration is. It's then you have these crazy people like, oh yeah, that act like they're supplicating to these people after they kill them. And then you might find a table full of fruit or what. And this is actually, that is devil worship. And a lot of those people may be victims and they're just trying to subordinate them. It's a Buddha belief. Also, there are other belief systems, but it's all devil worship. No matter what you call it, it's devil worship. You might call it Santeria, it's devil worship. Worship. That's what these people are doing. It's devil worship. Devil worship. One of the whores is making threats again, and she's actually behind the sink, and she's making threats, kitchen sink, as I'm mixing coffee. And I mentioned that these, and she's threatening me over the fact I told. They're in on 10 missing people. It's a connection through the Black Nazis and Officer Bobby and Dr. Jaffe. Represented as, oh, you are going to, and so went off and they're just fine. They're just fine. Oh, they're in the held according to what has been threatened with me. They were held to have alleged bait and tortured and raped by hundreds of men. And I'll probably be killed by Officer Bobby trying to reveal that. He'll probably invent a reason to shoot me. He'll be sneaking around with the crack horse and the other morons pretending that, and they'll cook up a government scheme. And lately they've been to Harborview or somewhere else. They'll even take you to a vet's. They'll remove a kidney. They'll remove a retina. They'll remove, and that's what they did to a few of those. Allegedly, they also parted them out. And they picked Europeans and people from from Britain and Ireland, two British people, and one was Welsh, I think. No, two English people and a Welsh person. So never again will I have sympathy for a hooker. And by the way, one of the other hookers has bragged that she's cut up people and eaten them. A couple of the others have bragged that they've cut up people, they've eaten them. One of the Black Nazis has bragged he's dissolved people in acid, in a tub of acid. They're playing sentence you. They can't sentence you. Not legal. And so this is a very dangerous phenomena in America. It's showing that you have subversive groups. I want to sound. You'll hear in the background. I think it's one of the security guards or one of the other retards that he can actually seize in Bloods and Zetas. The Bloods and Zetas they want the money, the property, and the drugs. I'm going to get off for a bit and pray. Then I have to make another phone call. I'm going to tell them people that are aware of the schemes, but, scheme. Including the backpack scheme. Why would they want backpacks? They want your identity. They want your medication. So they were threatening me for my medication yesterday at 10507 Aurora Avenue, North Seattle, Washington, 98133. And Dr. Jaffe, Bobby, and the retarded security guards from the LaSalle. It's a LaSalle hotel, but it's actually a apartment, and it's actually, they work through the Pike Place Market Development Authority. They're playing being nice. You're going to be nice. You're going to be nice. And she said you're going to be nice to the whole building. No, I'm not. I'm going to report you, and I'm going to put me to be a slave, and I will demolish your apartments. I will demolish all of your clothing and your possessions. They don't have much anyway. Maria, actually, that's one of the persons who's threatened with slavery. She goes to probably a couple of places besides Mary's, but she probably has a significant clothing collection because she goes to Mary's place. They'll outfit the $2 in a $2,000 sweater or suit as part of the practice where the gang members are playing survival of the fittest or unfittest, and they reward gang members. And Maria's an ugly whore. She's got light skin, and she's got dark hair, and she looks like a fly. And she wears ridiculous outfits. She takes the E-line. She goes to Mary's. That's near the police station. You just go south, I think, if you're looking at actual directions in the city. I think it'd be south. Station, and you head toward bus station or whatever, an old Western Union, and then you've got Mary's place across from there, and that whore Maria likes to go there. That whore Maria, even though she's involved in gang crime, she also advertises on Craigslist to do house sitting. And then, of course, that means people are probably lying about her references. They're probably gang members. Anyway, I'm going to go. Lisa, they think one more. Actually, leave while I eat breakfast. You can hear some of the dumb shits. And then it's going to be back on again because I want you to hear if they break in as threatened. Dr. Jaffe's in on break-ins, including I heard he's in on break-ins. Sounds ridiculous, but it's really not that much to do, especially if you have maintenance men or people that do carpentry. Dr. Jaffe and Officer Bobby are in on breaking people's apartments, and one of the reasons they do it, it makes them untraceable to the victim. The victim looks crazy, but also it can make them look magical. And so to a hypnotized person, might look like a or a ghost. Or maybe someone who's drugged, they've injected you with a hypodermic needle. Ooh, a ghost came through and raped me. Ooh, big government conspiracy, fake government. One of the retards is still shouting at me. He's saying, Lisa, like he's going to control me. Is he? No, he's a little late to try that. And all your reputation is ruined. This is a low-income building, so they're cheating the U.S. government in many ways to commit crimes, and they're playing oral this, oral that. They constantly rape threats. And if they think they're going to walk around, like they think they're going to rape me and anyone, and I'm just going to be a victim after they suck my blood with their slavering lips, which they threatened that too. No, I'm not. I'm not going to let a dog slaver into my boots. And a couple of these bastards have AIDS, by the way, and hepatitis. Several. And the shit-ass is playing... Oh, excuse me. One of the morons is... I think it's a security guard. And he's going on about English this, English that. So they're actually programmed zombies, and they have this vile hatred of English, Scottish, Irish, and Welsh people. It also... the hatred encompasses they hate also, even if they're in communication with them, and they also hate, so you want to watch it if you're out there and you talk to them, they hate, there's a big anti-white agenda, even by these whites, because they think they could get tremendous property playing these people. I'm not kidding. And it goes to a paranormal extent. So they also hate Ukrainians, and they also hate Semites, such as Greeks, Arabs, Jews. And some of these people are Jews, but there are people that are Jewish. They don't care about anyone if they're a Zeta or a Blood either, just like these other people. It's okay. Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. I'm at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 981. I was telling you, gamers might not care, even if it's the same ethnicity, if there are drugs or if there's property or money involved, or even perks and power. What kind of perks? Well, you might get tickets. Everybody involved with Hitler was a strapping, big, blonde German youth. Hitler had people of color even from other countries, and he was on his way to seducing some people in the Middle East. But I was talking about a person I know who took the fall with Satan. He's Jewish, and he's involved in harming Jewish people. And he doesn't like, I think, the Cohens or something, and he referred to himself as a glistener. Now, realize that all the gang members are psychotic. Now, I looked up the definition of glistener, and by the way, I'm not old, and a couple of my ethnicities would surprise you, including ethnicities that I've talked about. It's not black, and, of what I'm comprised of. And he talked about glisteners, by the way. What are glisteners? Well, apparently that was somebody from a game, like some sort of magical group from a game. So he's so psychotic he doesn't know what the hell he is, but he took Satan. That's your average Satanist. So thought I'd leave you with that fun knowledge. And remember now, all my favorite people have been targeted. And what's that list? English, Scottish, Irish, Welsh, Europeans, Semites, Russians, Ukrainians, and Semites. You can also include like Greeks as well. Arabs, Jews. And the bums in America have targeted, the curse they put on was my favorites and me. They've also, according to what I've heard, and experienced, they've targeted people in the spirit world, whether you believe it or not, including other planets, nature. They've set out to ruin as much nature as possible. So even if you think, oh, she's psychotic, well, the thing is, if you have people that are bragging about on a physical dumping chemicals in someone's water, them, it goes out to the sea eventually after the rivers and streams, and it also evaporates into the air, and then it comes down in the fall of time. Well, there's a lot of truth, even if you don't believe in the paranormal. So anyway, I am going to probably leave this on after pray, and I can eat. Leave it on for a bit, I guess. Then I need to make a call about some of these bums. Ouch. Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom. Thy will be done as earth is in heaven. Please forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done as earth is in heaven. Please forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Please forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Excuse me. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory. Amen. Now I'm going to eat breakfast, and there's still psychotic people, even if I was broadcast all the time, until I get like other devices. Unfortunately, and then I'll try to refrain from so much, and it's hard because I also like to curse these people back. And, you might hear a curse and say, what the hell? That's a terrorist. No, it's not. I'm cursing them. And a couple of the whores are still yapping, including one was threatening about a wheelchair. So, for 13 years I've been terrorized. I complained to a dirty cop about possibly a meth lab. Blackballed, I believe. And there's been a witch hunt ever since. And if you believe in chakra, they've been tearing me to pieces like a chest, including I'm sitting here in the head. 800 million people believe in the chakras or more. And the bums, one of the bums, she's talking about light skin this. Again, the explanation for whites being in with black Nazis, it's they want the power, well, they want the money, the property, and the drugs. Even a person over here who's Norwegian, she might not care about other Norwegians in a town full of Norwegians in Norway. Those people are just money to her. But you know, I like Norwegians and Swedes and other Scandinavians. Now, when I say Europeans, or I like Europe, well, there are other Scandinavians, obviously, in different areas. It's not part of Europe, truly. Bum is all those Europeans. Your average American I've seen, and I haven't traveled in the state, but they are zombies. And they've targeted other countries in Europe, which, you know, Europeans are my favorite. Or they're attackers, you know, I mean, all over Europe. Polish people, favorite. Well, the bums have their paranormal beliefs where they tried to curse me so every spirit would be mad at me. And one of the bums is chanting, I'm mad at you, Jesus. And they call that Maria in our crimes. They've actually her and tried to pretend she was the mother. And if you want about the chakras, they're trying to run the world. I'm not kidding. And they will try to use to create, putting these bugs, and a lot of them are child molesters. So, and one of them, they're real sweet. They're real sweet. We'll see about that, bitch. Theme with the Satanists, they're all bums, they defend sex with just rape. Sucking and down the throat, and just got done advertising. So the rapist, and so he is playing sucking, actually, with cannibalism. Anybody, and he's playing I blah 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 by the victims. And health and superpowers. Back chakra looks like I'm as sick as I am. I have allergies, chemical sensitivities. and bleeding ulcers. You're just playing your chest, and they used a spirit. They also tried to promote me. You've injured everybody in the U.S. and you've attacked everybody in the U.S. It's retroactive. Shut up, ugly bitch. And you're all sick. You tried to make it people. Elsa. Also threatening me for my sword. Jaffe or officer. So they're in on extortion. And they're all of this. Bob at me, he said there may not be a 911. They have a whole takeover plot of the world, especially like black Nazi charge, crowds and the other. They even have a paranormal. People have their bodies and they'll rule the world. And they think, ooh, if they have the chakras and it's not in me, ooh, they'll be so powerful and wealthy. They just took head and chest. They're playing Just Got Miracles on your blah, blah, blah. It's a retardo. So you didn't have to fear retardos 13 years ago. The gang members have gotten so powerful and why they're so outrageous is because they took the fall with Satan. It's not God that they are with, including if they're marching for human rights. Nobody is actually with God in the U.S. They're all Satanists. And all black Nazis are directly Satanists. And they're cannibals. They talk about taking my head and having it on a plate. One, he was hungry for Martian skin. And then the whore here said something about shutting up. No, bitch, you opened my mouth when you scarred me. For it. You actually opened my mouth. They're playing blah, 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 911. So they think they're going to control 911 by also this cult of conspiracy. 13 years of it. Well, the cult seemed to grind to a bit of an end when I successfully called 911 and got notice about people that were, these bums' friends, probably, trying to waylay me. Shut the fuck up. Your very voice is offensive. You sound like a dog moron. Just shut up. You're offensive, you shit ass. Now, the black Nazis and other dog shit like to pretend that they could punish people for everything, including to punish them for... I'm looking at something in my bag. It looks hilarious now, and I don't think it's usable. Like I said, a lot of waste has occurred from being displaced by bums. I have to carry everything because the bums, like the morons that you might be able to hear, they'll actually come in dirty figures everywhere with semen, urine, fecal. They'll ejaculate into your water. So I no longer eat here and clean dishes. I just buy paper plates. So Dr. Jaffe and Officer Bobby, they also have ejaculated into the water and poured toxins directly. It's a symptom of the zombie gang member. So if you see Officer Bobby of the West Precinct, get an image of a rapist who will kill people that refuse and die. You'll see a person who has Carolyn Delaney, and he is actually in on starving people and killing people and torturing people that were superior to him. It's called Survival of the Shittiest. The black Nazi retards and the scummy white crack prostitute and the wannabe cop and, the whomever, the cop involved in drugs and running of guns and whatever. They're inferiors, obviously. and they hang out with the inferiors. One of them or both got fellatio as they were threatening me yesterday. So I think it is a crawl space, and you can hear them. Just enhance the sound. They're not ghosts. And they just did another shot. You're still inferior. And so what's one of the best ways, by the way, for drugging morons, including the an evil Satanist, including the black Nazis, to look more superior or smart? Well, one of the or other morons, and then pretty soon everybody looks pretty smart that hasn't had that brain operation. And so you take somebody down to, lower than 80, like they're about 80. Most people are in the U.S. Their brains were dead for about 12 to 13 minutes. They're gooey zombies, basically. Satan reanimated the bastards. So, yeah, what's the best way to make someone look dumb? Well, you operate on them. And then what's the best way to make yourself look smart? Or you poison them and you drug them. You hit them in the head, which is another threat. But what's the best way to make yourself look smart? You have that done. The black Nazis and the other maggots are trying to reinvent history anyway. Spirit world, but also in the visible. You'll see YouTube with all these black Nazi controversies. It's all bullshit. Illuminati did this. The Illuminati did that. Some of it's a bunch of gang members, a bunch of crack hoes, a bunch of black Nazis and other rejects. They're all committing crimes and playing, oh, the devil did this. Ah! So there, I hit that one. They're linking. And the black Nazi security guards, two of them, well, one of them was bragging about snuff movies, and he was bragging about how he linked with Kim Kardashian, and I believe he does in regard to theft and illegal surveillance. Now, if you think of copyright issues and illegal surveillance, let's say somebody's singing a cute song in their apartment. Ooh, how'd that song end up on TV? What a coincidence. It's a commercial. Oh, it's what's-his-name's rap song. There are no new discoveries in the U.S. They're all stolen either by SP or stolen by, illegal surveillance. And then all they do is within us. You send on even the, and he's got like the whole, in she came creeping, blah, blah, blah. Usually don't listen to that crap, but. And Kim Kardashian is connecting apparently with the snuff movies that the gang members were bragging about. Dr. Jaffe was calling snuff movies, they were calling them gold. Or Dr. Jaffe's son, rather, yeah. His son was calling them gold. Or calling them money, you name it. And a couple of them have been bragging about how they'd make movies about death and the head getting cut off, yada yada, the illegal surgeries. What they like to pretend in snuff movies is that it's legal, and it's sort of like a code, because the pervert freak that likes to watch it will then think, they'll know. And so this retard, one of the black security guards, his black Nazi, he was telling me that he's on boxed video. So what does that mean? It's people who then probably says of snuff movies and Kim Kardashian's involved, according to the black Nazi maggot. So two of the missing Europeans were, unfortunately for them, they were in the snuff movies, and they're playing Swisher. So those snuff movies often are presented on the deep web as a political prisoner, a prison in China, she's in Russia. And Dr. Jaffe's son doesn't even know where he is. Sometimes he thinks he's Russian police. Sometimes he thinks he's FBI. And sometimes, and one might be Dr. Jaffe's son or one of the other retards. As I said, enhance the sound, and you'll hear Europeans, their bloods. Those people. One of the retardos is now going. 20 personalities of the zombie gang member, the Satanist, and they often will degenerate into a rage, crying, there's no remorse for their action unless they accidentally hit a crack hoe or something. The knees because of what they've done to us. But so if they hit the really crack hoe granny mistake, then they sorry get caught. And these gang members are human. So I actually know exactly how they treat the poor victims. These bastards treated them as not even human. They may have even called themselves. So you might see some where there are people haircuts. So you're not going to see they'll be verbal. They might have done a retard like the one tomorrow. So those all need to be exposed. And what are they doing there too? They're actually defaming Russia. Russia is they're hiding their crimes under. They've continued to harass and blame and target all the countries. Now, Russia, that's a bit tricky there, but they're not any kind of policies with Russia or any other country easy. Because remember, they have takeover plots. And the bum is playing. I think it's a black Nazi maggot. Black Nazi maggot that's not a secure. And he's actually in his room. Get to you. You've caught them once you accused them. It's your average member moron. Electric shock. Bums is playing Burger Master. Other building list. Human slavery, appearances, perhaps even cannibalism. So add that to the list of cannibal Rileys. Now, I think Arco's there. It's in the road. And that's like, I'm sorry I talk like that. I was imitating a gang member. So, probably 80th and Aurora. I don't know. It's an old place. So, excuse me, if I were to go down... and one of the morons, he's still in there. Suck my blah, blah, blah. Suck my calling at my, sorry, I'm in this napkin mode, I don't know. Getting things messy, in a hurry, and I can't stand dirty hands, so I keep using more napkins. It's probably out of nervousness. I'm not on drugs or alcohol, but I'm using napkins, which isn't very good. You stick with this napkin. Maybe I think they're not as strong as I thought they were. I bought these napkins from the dollar store, and they were excellent. They were like more strong than paper towels. I don't know. Maybe they seem to just like one use. I'm sorry, we're analyzing napkins now. It's like, oh, can't use it. Jam. Oh, peanut butter. Oh gosh, unbelievable waste. Now, I can't even leave old really messy hands, you've got paper towels. Can't leave them around. Can't carry them all over the place. Can't leave them here because the people with their filth hands, that they think is so ceremonial because they're more on psychopath. It could even be doctor supply. Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie, and I was talking about gang members and sort of making fun of some of them. There was one saying, and he was getting hysterical because I was about it, and he about how they do these snuff movies. Well, apparently he's the bum who connects with the funeral home. So 2 of the missing Europeans might connect to, well, they won't just bury you, they'll probably, by the way, not pound or anything. I'm not an expert. You what I hear. Remember these taunts gang members, they are often information packets. So gang members saying, I'm not a home that I have a connection to. What does that mean? Okay, and just the is the sentence. Apparently black Nazi has a connection to a funeral home. Okay, write that down. Tell it on CameraFi. Oh my God. Dr. Jaffe's skull around on the weekends. He's smoking crack and getting fellatio. Well, what is that? That's information. He's skulking around. Fellatio from a crack or while he's threatening me. That's information. Just look at it as an information packet. And where do I get a lot of it? From the threats and taunts. Yesterday, one of the black Nazi, I think doesn't remember this is a vast amount of information, actually got caught with something and confessed, including the missing Europeans. Now, I'm not a cop, and I know unlike 132 million people on the continent, I happen to know I'm not a cop, I'm not an expert, but he is like talking about the missing Europe. Here's another one. A cartoon voice like there's a reason for that. Satan promoted the internet, but also everybody was 12, 13, and used animal parts to fill in the missing parts. Might not able to see it, but he also used animals. They already had deficient DNA. Chose most of them were during the fight with Satan, and thirdly remade people, and then some buddies people. Now, you could actually see unpinned. It drops. Well, it could look something worse than like they're trying to use a spirit here too. Afraid because I said the Lord's Prayer. The bums actually tried to take the Lord's Prayer and defile it and try to get it on good they have. So we're going to try to get the religion back from the bums. And remember, I have a viewpoint about people who have been consecrated and animals, even if it's a plant. If a retardo thinks they're going to consecrate someone or something to Satan, I don't go for it. Why? Because your average Satanist, I don't have respect for people with urine-soaked hand people's water and you're now, or they're paying. There was a plot yesterday. One of them did to a couple of them talking about taking. It's been taunted or. They wanted to take, by quote, vagina and then screw, and they think they're very mad when you're a slut in the spirit world. And it's like, no, I'm not, because all these people are whores that are consecrating. They're rapists. It just means a retarded hooker and rapist. Let's boil down Satanism to what it is. It's retarded people that are who have real. Satan stole power and then to these bodies. By the way, there is. Oh, and what a bums is threatening a mosque again. And there is up. Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. One of the moron gang members is in one of their rooms in the second floor area. So the morons want to North Seattle, Washington, over and over. Checks and money and accounts. 2 and 3. I think the last bastard, it's possibly on the 3rd floor, or a couple of them. It's been a couple, including a dirty security guard here early apartments. By the way, I can't even, I'm getting comfortable even with leaving, like camping, but also have, like, I want to leave knives. My sink looks dirty. I never use it now, hardly. Why? This is what happened when I use my water. And the bum is still going on, raping you when you leave. It's a retarded male. They just let him yap and threaten and Officer Bobby. And they're threatening identity theft and extortion, and Dr. Jackie is directly tied in with it. And those will arrange your death if you won't go along with slavery, torture, and not telling anyone. So, Officer Bobby is from the Seattle Police Department, West Precinct. And you've got, they're very much in with the morons here. They've treated them like they were police and other experts or professionals, including retarded hookers that smell so bad you want to vomit when you smell. So I'm going to go about my day and iron, and I'm not afraid to go outside. So remember, if you want to stalk gangs, gang stalkers, you can take pictures and video of them acting the way they do. You do it secretly. There's a bum playing blah, 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 my hotel. Shut the hell up, you retarded bitch. And he's playing indentury. So that's your typical black Nazi retard. And it's your typical gang member mentality. And they also think that they're going to get away with, like, if they claimed a country, okay. If they claim a house from someone, okay. They're just going to bend over for a bunch of black Nazis. That's what they basically believe. So these retards have about 1,000 morons taking over the world. It's gonna, that's what they think. And they are excrement. And the bums, this family that, I talk to your family, I don't have, there is no family. There is nobody. So these bums keep insisting they have a family. They're all relatives. And even the so-called family I have, I wouldn't want them. And so they're probably, it could even be a connection. Or some step family, not even step family anymore. How about some half-sister, half-brother? Well, my sister and my brother were trying a house about 20 years ago. So there is no family, and I've never had kids. So the gang members like to falsify people's lives, and they like to even pretend or portray that you're with the family. And the whore and bum, they're going on about Linda this, Linda that. There's no name. Linda was a whore that used funds from St. Vincent by portraying this as her amount. And this is going to be my diary of what's happening. It's a black Nazi smart. They always have a lot of them and a lot of practice. And they keep trying to indoctrinate. And see, you're not going to indoctrinate. And they're actually using paranormal or psi, and they're playing not on, and muscles. They're cannibals, but they also like to try to play with the etheric body. You nod on everybody in the U.S. And guess who else you nod on? How's your ancestry, by the way? They're playing not recognize your ball. So the earmark of the gang member, including the black Nazi, is constant fraud. They don't have their own chakra, spirit, aura. Why? They're all zombies. It could be everybody that doesn't, because the U.S. pulled them down with the fall of Satan. Even around the world, you're not going to probably have it on, and you can't by stealing it from me. They just took head and they're playing pants down. Why would they take head? They don't have their own braids. They were gooey. They were dead for 12 minutes. And the ugly, retarded bum is still threatening Matthew. Names Matthew Velasco, blah, blah, blah. It's from a book. So this retarded black Nazi that's making threats, along with a crack whore, people as my family, and insisting my family, and the thing of them went off into a tangent, and he was saying, Matthew Velasco, schizophrenic, actually, people professional, they went in with people like that. That's your average gang member. They don't know what the hell they're doing at the time. Yeah. Taking them seriously, such as Officer Bobby of the West and Dr. Jaffe, and they're trying to drop the proverbial pig's ear and society. No, they're not. Pig's ear with the, as this cow's ear as the curse. So curse. They're talking about groceries and crime, committing crime. You should hear the list they're trying to have me do, or that they would do to me. They're all scumbags, all of them. Shut the hell up, you ugly bitch. Just shut your fucking yap. Do you impress me? No. Go to hell. Shut up, ugly bitch. And they're still yammering about Linda this. One of the retardos, he's actually, you should hear the shit they make up. They don't inform me, blah, 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 blah. Last night they were making up something about paperwork. There's no connection. Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. I'm at 105-983. Not only are the black Nazis and Zetas trying to take over everything, they're actually to take over out. Including to falsify about fake family, fake connection, did this, did that. It's all based on lies. Taught them to all. Satan taught bastards to tell lies like they are. Shut up, bitch. Just shut your yap. Aurora Avenue, North Seattle, Washington. There's up for these people, unfortunately, because they're pretty much gone in Washington. They're all zombies anyway. And there's a conspiracy. Oh, and the bum is threatening me when I leave. He's trying to. Is he scaring me? No, but it's hard to listen to excrement over and over. And we are talking excrement. The black Nazi morons. They really would let everybody else starve. They really would. Oh, what an alcohouse. Oh, what? Oh, you're white. You haven't had those 10 bastards. And some of those numbers are a month with, food stamps. what? Your food stamps, actually what happens is, well, that's mighty funny, because guess what? They're really, some of them, but they're portraying that they're paying rent, is what I think. So there's something funny going on, and you're homeless person, you get to eat at more places, treated better, blah, blah, which is actually the truth. Over 200 and some dollars food stamps. See, supposedly they, such as rent and electricity figures into that, and then there's these people walking around with no rent, and they're getting $200 worth of food stamps. I know a couple like that at Elizabeth Gregory home. Guess what? Can you guess what the bastards are doing? It's this. So if you want to look for some fraud, there's some hot fraud at Elizabeth Gregory. Stamps, do some number crunching. People are making too much money in food stamps. It's ones. I believe it's gang crime. They're getting the best of this, is my theory. Or if you're a minority, they'll throw it at you. You're going to have it at you. You will accept the food stamps. I didn't say I was white. But if you're an obvious certain minority, then, you know, there are some perks, aren't there? The rest of you can stalk. Also, some drugged out morons that go to threats. Some whites, honest, they're making $200 in food stamps. They have it to pay. Bills. Now, who's one of those? Oh gosh. Here. Black-haired, fat, involved in rape plot here. Being good money, food stamps. Here, WHTIER, I think. The only that's she's white, by the way. They're gonna be male. Bet you. It's true. Possibly 10 at and they're making good. They're making $200 in food stamps. Red here though, so that's the connection. Plus, she's a drunk. So if you're a drug addict or drunk, things you can believe, and the rest of you just starve. So they're threatening about leaving. Now let me explain the diagram of where they're pushing. So a bomb in his apartment, left-hand side, in the allegedly empty storage room. Then you've got positioning. It's also, excuse me, got the opposite wall. To sell food down, I'll arrange it. So the gang members also try to act like it's their social security check. What's he talking about? He's talking about chakra. Women, they would take, and he's absolutely guaranteeing the wages of sin is death. Should be under the ugly curse, just like you did to me and starve me and poison me and ejaculated into a slave and ugly bitch and cancer for women, huh? I'm not protecting one visible of anywhere else. And bombing endless ornament. So he was telling people to make $1 million chakra. They will use the paranormal or attempt to. Also, they will just promise people going to get $1 million. So US. So that's commit these crimes. And there's uterine and head taken by the... Every particle of me gives everyone who takes it, or uses it, or transfers it, cancer. And I'm not going to stop. One of them is a body. I'm putting it... It's not on everybody in the U.S., I would say. Actually put a curse on me so people pretend I was Satan, or cover up their dirt and their crimes, basically spitting on me figuratively. And you've got 132 million zombies that took down the entire world. Start with 100, but it spread throughout the population. Everyone in the U.S. is a zombie. They're all programmed, pothead, garbage bag, whore, with in a car, willingly and perform. Bum is playing Glenda, yep. One of the retarded black Nazis is actually on knees. So retarded. Am I going to knees? No. And see, they want slavery, etc. Typical of the black Nazi. And what they're actually is, they will pretend they're police, and they enter into agreements with other bloods that are in the police department, or like fake police, like security guards. Bloods, Zetas, Asian. And so they're going to get, with any slavery, they're going to get a demolished house or apartment. And I'm not going to do it. I told you, bitch, and one of them was trying to tell clothing, all right, they're going down the garbage chute with vermin. Oh, and there's a retardo black Nazi at the front of this. He's talking on the phone or intercom. And he said, I will. And he's from actual cafe. He's a driver. Get out there. How do I know? Well, that intercom was left open to play Lisa's 6'1" or so. He's chakra is so from Recovery Cafe. He's a bum. He's a Satanist. He's a retard, reject, black Nazi, Winna, who I was calling Vanessa, or this. One of these is chanting, you're going to be convicted. That's a woman who run fraud about my fraudulent funds for charities, or a charity. Received alleged rent. She has nothing to do with me except she's, the management gets, that's typical. When you're oppressed, hunted by gang managers, will give out your keys. It could be thousands of ads coming through scum of the earth. All like to play with chocolate. They all like. I think it could be. He's had enough time. Or he's on the way. And a couple of them have guns. And note that I've had to take showers at 10507 Aurora Avenue, North Seattle, Washington, 980. Or the sound of a sword unsheathing or another blade. Satanists, and they think they're doing ceremonies if they sacrifice somebody. Are they worshiping even if they say it's for so-and-so? It's the devil. Don't sacrifice. They're on body defilement. They like drinking blood, fluid, and plasma. But also try to get you to give blood. Dr. Jaffe's in it, and Dr. Bobby. That they can make money, but they're with slavery, prostitution, murder, full identity theft, where you absolutely. And one of the bums is still shouting about. See, they're disgusting. Putridness. So if you can imagine bubbles of extra, the same thing over and over, or like piles of extra. Linda this. We're going to rate Linda this. We're going to convict you. And if you want to hear them better, just clean up the sound. Take my voice out. Take the water noise out. Play moisture. They like to pretend people owe them everything, and they'll exact a toll. It's called survival of the America now. Survival of the unfittest. What do I mean by that? Well, they're all garbage that survived and survives, that were intelligent or nice or for shitty black Nazis, crack hosts of all colors, potheads that are, and that's what they want to do. You picked on it, and she's talking like she's logical. Guess where she is? She's illegal in the room, whining. Illegal. Ray that works at the front desk up here already. He is. I believe I heard him. He's about 6 feet tall. One of the bums is chanting about a couch. Hi, this is Guthrie. I'm actually getting ready to take a shower, etc. today. And when I'm around a little breezeway or bushes, people like dogs, and the officer Bobby, they stick up for these black Nazis. So they put the distributors down on other cops as well by hiding this crap. And they brought this, and they're playing bullet, convict you. The retarded black Nazi in front was talking about his gun. It's a black retarded, simple looking. He looks like he's retarded. He doesn't know what to do. It's a drunk from a recovery cafe. Use a stupidity code. So he doesn't want to get hurt, threatening that kill. So he said we're going to petty folks. Gang members, they have body parts fetishes. In fact, some of them thought they'd screw my desiccated vagina after death, just like an Ed. And I would like to note that it's very popular in the black Nazis. They've actually dehumanized people that are white, including in regard to molesting children, by actually not just members of the Bloods and Zetas also do that as well. And then they also kill animals and sacrifice and torture them as a pet. And it goes shopping with them wherever they go, sleeps with them, etc. Like to separate. Probably son's been here, skulking around. I'm not going to let this crap in. I'm going to have to, which they do. And none of them present their ID that were threatened, and they would not do it, including Dr. Jaffe or Officer Bobby. And I then to stick their ID. The retard that's there now, he's actually, including tape the bitch across the street and down the street. He's been identified. So if something happens to me, as are many of these freaks. And what are going on about Linda or Glenda? Linda. So I'm going to brush my teeth. Normal procedure, which is not very. I am being threatened. Just understand. And there are psychic attacks by psychos. And I'll talk about it. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Be done as earth is in heaven. Please forgive our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into evil, for that is kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. That kingdom is so I'm at 133 unit. There's a bunch of bombs threatening me to black Nazis at the front desk at Aurora DS. There's Lacey filigree glasses. He's from the recovery cafes. He has sort of a bigger shoulders. I don't know. That interesting to analyze. You know what I mean? Not attractive, very plain man. He's playing to get you more beautiful. He's threatening with mutilation. So it sounds good ringing you. Well, it's a thing anyway. Even if there's, we love in empty janitor's room. What are the other retards all day? No, I don't think so. Including if you hear a shot, it's probably too late for me, unless you hear one. So I would call what's happening. So out of state, yeah, tell me there's a conspiracy about a woman. You might even see the blood, I don't know. Oh, and acid. And now they like more. She gave a lady yesterday, and she's playing warrant. Skinny, getting that. There is playing too. They're all gone. These. The babies are caught dead. Dead. I lost my teeth. So the thing I could do was turn on camera. The sounds don't come in. I was reading about how like knitting beautifully. That's why if you have a sound program to cut the back noise, you know, eventually I'm via, if I last, via like a camera. Brush again, back in there. I take water in there, remember water, have to warm it up. Water, including in plagues. They bragged about Ebola. They bragged small diphtheria, typhoid, I think typhoid, pneumonia, and if they can't infect you with a petri dish and walking around with a swab, they'll just, you know, they cough in your face purposely, throw it and start rubbing it in your refrigerator. You know, so, once your apartment, just know you have been, and you have more than one person, open. And see their little cartoon about Satanists popping their bit. You're my slave. I put my zit juice on you. I'm a man and I ejaculated into him from the entire universe. The Satan said so. result for me. You're not going to the street. So, this is Lisa Guthrie. I have to repeat where I am. I'm at 10507 Aurora Avenue, North Seattle, Washington, 98133. I was making moaning noises. And then at one of the whores, one of the other bums, it's a whore, she was playing blah 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 by a sperm in water, possibly in urine. One of them, when I got in there, he said the word TP. And the other one, near the sink, bragged about poisoning. So Dr. Jaffe and Officer Bob to this. Remember, they like to pretend these people doing illegal things are sane people. Are they? No. They are maniacs. And they're playing bills this, bills that, bills that. One of the whores, I could just hear her. I think she's actually in a crawl space rather than talking on the microphone. It's a bum. You can hear her kind of squeaking, sort of upset. Oh, excuse me, there was a chakra blow up, like a motor. Excuse me. Bum. And so I downloaded a radio yesterday. Because, I think the camera is more effective because if someone breaks in. Oh, what did I do with my little cheap phone? Which is actually, those cheap phones are pretty good for calls. Oh, I didn't even have that in the bathroom with me. That's actually not good because they're good to have when your smartphone fails up. It wasn't as cheap as you think. It was a nice Samsung, which are nothing now. But I washed it up and it lasted. By accident, not on purpose. It was not a YouTube experience. Including the black Nazis. Actually, they get quite a few perks, including they can then accuse people if they have some black people on, and even the blacks and Hispanics will do it. They'll accuse you, talk about their crimes. And this is either alternately or simultaneously as they're chopping you up and raping you. Or, kidnapping you to another black Nazi and putting you in the... You just never know. Well, how do I get this information? Well, they're Satanists, and this is what they threatened. You can feel the evil in the air the minute you land. It's too late because you're probably a zombie. And with the buzzing zombie... Now starting to take my motion detectors down. One of the most vulnerable times, including, when the gang members are masturbating into your water supply or dumping it, it would be while you're in the shower. Courtesy, they're a bunch of retarded bumps. You're not getting courtesy from me. You're not going to get it. All of you fuckers. Every type. I have plenty ulcers, and asthma, chemical sensitivity, fibromyalgia, and these bums, I have more, and these bums are calling themselves warriors. Shut the hell up, you ugly bitch. There's your courtesy. Do violence. Well, sometimes you have to get away, though, if you're enslaved. So I had this, so like, somebody tried to enslave you, fire alarm goes off. And, well, you can purposely set it off. Some of them are hair trigger. You can burn toast. There you go. Whole building in trouble. They took chest. Another thing you could do, cause a flood. Couch window very easily. I keep telling you and telling you. Wheelchair can go out the window. I'm not saying with the person inside. I didn't say that. Sometimes when these bums will talk about let's see, what was there? I'm distracted because I'm listening to a couple morons. You are defecated. How about that? They're saying we defecated. You are defecated. So are your ancestors. You're all defecated scum. But what? It's been 13 years. And in this building, committing crimes. Are they any prettier? Occasionally they look really. Whatever made them ugly, it just, you need to curse them. Back. Excuse me, I'll be right back. You look hideous if you make them prettier. So what is he threatening me with? He's threatening me with identity theft. And he either thinks he's going to, and they just took chakra again, several instances. And so he thinks that he'll either do magic or operate or do something so I look like this Linda. So the retardo, one of them at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, he's threatening me so that I look somebody else. Times 3 or so, including with identity plot. Linda played repeatedly. Nobody has you pulling on their hearts and their kidneys, including your own. And see, I'm always late, like I'm sitting here writing. And would I live on a deserted island to get away from it? Yeah, but the thing is, I'd miss the internet, and I'd need a lot of books, and I need clothing, and, things like that. I need medicine. And then, Alaska, well, you need quite a lot of equipment, as I always say, when you want to look poor in Alaska on TV. You need a seat plane and your family there, and you can starve in a shed. Perhaps they sneak out and get the munchies. I don't know. I don't think they do. But you need at least $300,000 or $500,000 to go do the shows where you're dreadfully poor in Alaska. Everyone here. They're playing UFOs made you thinking. UFOs made you thinking. So they're trying to make UFOs, if you believe it or not, out of brick, and it's black nose. So you know what they're doing with the UFOs? They're basically trying to target, it's not aliens, and they're trying to target anyone nice, normal, or decent. Target if it said black Nazi, if it's programmed by a black Nazi, it would be a white person or other that they are targeting. So here. But he's involved in crime, believe it or not. And I believe he did take the fall with Satan 25. One of the bums, he's the maggot. Is he the security guard or one of the other turds that doesn't have over this property? So there's retarded security guards that come here. I was slip. That don't. There's a whore needed a bus chick. Blah 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 needed. And there's this repeated theme of you're going to defend, you're going to help the scum and druggies. They get everything free. If they're a black Nazi, they get everything free. If they're crazy, hard up and they get everything free. They're playing, we're going to humming and we're going to feed them. And so chanting Linda. Remember, Dr. Jeff turds will pretend that these people are normal and can walk around and make decisions. Stomach, head, and your own might be hungry. Your own might be hungry. Lots of chest. So whether they, and then they're playing blah, 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 wash herself. Doesn't have water. Lost the key to wash herself. Lost the key to wash herself. Remember, they were dumped in the water. Lost the key to wash herself. And I forget what's going on. So, see, these things should have been euthanized. Not only waste of resources and, hurting people and animals. They're calling waste of, you would have them for their yap and their death. There's a whore playing poor little, blah, 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 blah. How new Anthony, how's your granny? How's your granny? How's your grandpa? So what do? You do back to them what they did. And you curse their ancestors. Treat them like, treat me. Got hungry, did she? And if you say, that's terrible about their ancestors, they're already scummy zombies. Because remember, if it's their ancestors, what's one of the first things they would have done? They would have made him a zombie. They made him a Satan worshiper. Why? Bragging about having spirits eating me. And they just took. There's nobody sick. Demon things. They're like some horror movie. Over a day. Every day. They're playing might be blind eventually. She's making curse. All of you might, because you just put the curse on the whole. Isn't that fun? You put a curse on the whole and you put it on. Or a white retard. You might go also threaten me with blindness from sprinkling glass at me. So it gets in your eyes if it's covered with breaking chakras. Why they don't? They're playing damned and they're playing Linda. So they're playing. So that leads me to another subject. They will also either they'll absorb your identity in another way. How would they do that? They whims. And they've. So he keeps chanting Linda. Another. They'll also use the names of. And you're suddenly Renee or some attempt Renee, and that hug. Where that's to that you're an identity. And these same bums. Guess what they're doing? They're promoting. Ooh, you're a Nazi if you don't let them in to rape you and change your name for them. And so, us including Dr. Jeff, they're betraying all whites and others that aren't in the. They're also getting the moment cause to kill her. Ooh, well, about black people. It's another zombie. That's one of the gang tricks. And they just blew up my back. Excuse me. So they made a curse when it lose eternal life. They are Satanists and they're all ancestors. The curse is said, I did. And so if they're alive, they'll experience it. There's their uterine. That uterine puller. Oh my. Enjoying it? They have the area, otherwise they'd have a big hole, wouldn't they? I hardly call these things men though. You just threw away. What kind of key are they like prison? Keys like a magical key. Yeah, so I'm getting tired of this. And so there's, it's already 11 o'clock. Yes, evil people. Deal with it. There's chakra theft. Take your, so hi, I'm Lisa Guthrie. I'm at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 98133. And the horror in the wall, there's people hiding, by the way, in my storage unit, and they're playing, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and they're pretending that it's legal. And they're like, there is a dirty black, or a, well, there's a lot of black Nazis involved, but there is Dr. Jaffe involved, and a Seattle Police Department person, and then also some from the LaSalle involved, including, well, they work, not including, but they work for, other, I just had head theft, I believe inside. But those are playing, and the bums are playing Policeman Severance. And it's one of the bums, LaSalle security guard. And he said, you're going to give a policeman severance. So that's a gang thing. They like to pursue, along with pretending that you have to follow some exist, or just even just so ignorant. You know, it's just so psychotic. Well, remember, Doctor is connecting with all of this. Officer Bob of the Seattle Police Department, and he's at the West Precinct. And he was here over the weekend. Jaffe. And they both have two retarded sons that at least one knows is dangerous, retarded, or diminished, they now say, or something to that effect. Deficient, you know, they're not going to say retarded. And so the retarded security guard, he's a black Nazi, that's why he has the job. Because America gave a different grading system to the mentality. If you're a black Nazi, everybody just listens to you, even if you're psychotic. If he'd been a white person, he would have been long years ago. Saying, you're my white police sergeant. He's a coked up monster. Talking about keys, you need to throw his key away. And they're playing my own might do gang spotting all day. So what they like let's say you said something. Like, oh, I hope that gangs follow these guys. Well then, so he might do gang spotting all day. Actually, I hope that other rival gangs get them and you have them declared insane and arrested. Security church, now this is the open challenge, and I'd like to any viewers to hear this. I open the door. We're gonna roll around. Would you like that? That's your challenge, pussy. I want you to come. Or how about those gloves that you use to beat people? These are all racists, and I asked them all weekend to present a badge. They were playing, we're going to arrest you, police. We're going to arrest you. We're going to do this to you. Dr. Jaffe was here. I said, well, bring your, slide it under the door. I'm at the door at one point said, you know, because I thought I was leaving, or it was when I'd come back. I said, just come out. Come on. None of them would. But I invite you to actually come out. Let's come on. So this is a challenge. Do you like it? So would you like to take the gun challenge? Like the bucket challenge. It's a little different. Efficiency moron. So I probably have to explain things to you. Different grading system, you know. So, moron, come on. How about your badge? It's really no more meaningful than a toy because he's actually off premises of where he has a job. And so he's practicing, as they call it, scope, among other things. Impersonation of police, of various officials. The list is endless, really. But that's your tip. Remember, they're just not very bright, are they? So would you like to come out and play Mondering Moron? I'm sure that makes it a very interesting Google, YouTube experience. Come on, let's go. I challenge you to come out. Monkey. And your monkey friends of all colors. Would you like that? Would you like to come out? Come out, come out! He said there's one or two of them that act like that, or blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck about your... You're practically patient. shitting level with diapers on in a mental forever. It should be. You're a dirty, filthy fucking butt. And no white person would have held their job like you. Especially 15 years ago. Unless they were in a gang. They're playing blah blah, all of them. There's another one playing. She practically blah blah. It's always locked. I think I scratched my face with more glass. I was lying on my blanket. I was so tired. So they were bragging about how roughed up my complexion is. Well, I'd like you to see her answer. Anything open that can't be left. There's a bum saying, she talked to like that police department like that. So the black Nazi maggot and the other maggots, at least, they listen and develop themselves as police. Are they? No, they can't make it as a policeman. They're not policemen. And the retarded hookers that give them fellatio are insistent that they are police. Are they police? No. And they'll actually insist that people that they are police or FBI based on other qualifications as well. Maybe it threw $5 after the fellatio to the whore. Maybe it threw that cocaine. Ooh. Heroin. The heroin junkie. Who believes because he throws her that. What did I just do? Oh dear. Now, I'm having trouble with the suitcase, actually. She's talking about the spiral and is her business. Your grandfather, your family. So what they like to do is play a game. Let me tell you the game. They'll insist that they are your family. Your family. Hi, I'm 507 Aurora Avenue, Seattle, Washington, 98133. I'm about to leave. And grandmother, remember they're linking with officer, their little scum buddies, including the like to play FBI. We have Jeffy and Mr. Bobby. So, these pretty infantile morons and ended up in the mental hospital. Dr. Jeffy's white or white with other, and normally it's not always diagnosed. A lot of our society, women who use sedatives. I'm thinking, I don't know about males. Had to restart. Buffering was started. Probably used too much data. So they're punishing me. They've knocked down the rates, so I'm suspicious of that. But they're trying to compete. Good rates then, but then there's this little thing about unlimited, and plus there's hackers. But anyway, this report did that. Because the hackers, of course I'm going to report gang members that are hacked. So a lot of you Bloods and Zetas, they hack. They hack, and I've been hacked on Virgin Mobile. I've been hacked on, what else? T-Mobile. So they will hack you. It slows down your service when they hack you. You're not going to like what they do because it slows you. And so you sometimes hear their voices even. You're not being hacked. So leave your phone so it's open. And all they do is probably approach someone who works for the company and just bribe or coerce in. I'm getting lazy. There's start chat. Every taught us to go with you. So they're trying to make it like a kidnapping situation. Guard goes with you. That psych bastard is going to be filmed. And you're going to be posted on, even if I have to just take a picture. Boy. Bag at the bus stop will definitely get photographed. That used to live here. He suspiciously was at Elizabeth. One of the retards is still playing Linda. Remember, Dr. Jaffe has promoted psychotic freaks like this, and so is Officer Buck. And one of the horses saying, blah, blah, boo, boo, blah, blah. Am I gonna blah, blah, boo, blah, blah? No. I'm gonna tell ugly bitch. How about that? Cop or something. Talking about fraud that the gang members do. They'll also threaten you with human slavery. They'll ruin your reputation even worse. They'll actually and present you as a psychopath that turned down a good. This is doing a lot of buffering. I'm headed out the door. I've been threatened with kidnapping, rape, murder, you name it. Especially, I was subjected to a lot of the threats because I stayed back on, what was it, Sunday. Feeling a bit dizzy, sick from all the, there's been a lot of etheric theft, if you believe that. Now these people, look at how heavily laden she is. Now that's from the food bank. Some of these, yeah, that's pretty good in there. Not all the way filled up, but she can barely walk. Well, these same kind of people will go to the food bank and probably get more, like the fat guys and the bigger guys, or just guys that have the carts or people, and then they'll come back, or not even go, and they'll threaten me for food. They actually feed them twice a day during the week, and then actually the weekend now, they serve them a brunch and then leftovers in the night. And these same people will threaten you for food. Filming you if you fucking bump me, bitch. Excuse me, I have a temper. That's why I have a profanity warning. After I come out of that apartment building, I have no patience with anything that's offensive or dangerous. I just want to take his stick and beat people up. I'm just kidding.